So we're a gym and a Pilates studio here in South Auburn.
You go to the gym, and when did you make that move?
Yeah, so I took over the gym it was a bit over 3 years ago now, so about June 2022 it was.
Yep.
And yeah, I've been in fitness for probably 4 or 5 years already.
Yep.
Probably 4 years, yeah. Just mostly as a sole trader. Work as a PT. It was always sort of a passion. It was the first thing I did when I came out of school.
Yeah, right.
I think, always had a love for sports and fitness and training, and sort of carried that on. And I somewhat had a vision of owning a gym at one point, but that sort of faded and came back at points. COVID sort of messed with that a little bit too, what I wanted to do.
Yep.
And I was actually working here for the previous people who owned this gym.
Okay, yeah.
And just doing a little bit of contract work for them here and there, running a few sessions. And after all the COVID debacle, they were looking to get out, and they offered it to me. I actually originally said no first up, being that it sort of wasn't the path that I wanted to go at the time. And a couple weeks later, I actually changed my mind, came back to them, and went ahead with it. And opened it up and continued along the sort of Vice in Motion brand. And it was definitely a different path than what I originally thought it would be. Thought it would be a lot cruisier than what it actually is. I definitely learned a lot. But pretty much always had a passion for helping people through health and fitness, being that it's such a big thing for myself, and I know how much it's had an effect on my life. And I just want to be able to have that effect on other people, but at a broad impact, more than I could just help with myself. It's like I want to bring in coaches and other people who are going to help, I guess, expand that vision.
Cool. So you say like the Vice Motion sort of movement, do you think like you live by those words, and do you like implement that into your training sessions? And
I think like our biggest thing is we aim for consistency over perfection. You see it a lot with gyms, and they'll try and get you training 5-6 days a week when you're first starting out, or going heavier than you need. And it's all well and good. We always want to chase to be better, of course, but especially for people who are just starting out, which is a lot of the demographic that we train, we need to build small habits. We need to build some wins and get all that under our belt first up. So I think we really aim to maybe not overshoot and try and be a little bit more consistent with our approach. And we find that stacking up 2 or 3 sessions a week over a 6-month period is better than doing 5 or 6 a month week and then missing a bunch of weeks because you saw burnt out or something. And I think I still that with my own training. I'm big on don't miss a day, or if you do miss a day, don't miss a day afterwards. It's always try and keep that consistency week in, week out.
Good idea. So just give us then, what do you feel sets your gym apart from others?
I think it is like a continuation of probably the point that I just made, in that we won't make someone overstep their boundaries, and we're really good at getting people who haven't exercised or maybe don't have those consistent habits. It's like you look at a lot of gyms and they may suit people a little bit more if they're in really good shape already, really fit and really confident. And it makes it really intimidating for people who maybe aren't as fit or aren't as comfortable with exercise. So we're trying to find a place for those people so they can train and they can get into it, because there's a much bigger percentage of the population who don't exercise than do. Like it's significant. It's like 95 to 5%. It's something ridiculous like that. And we want to find a place for those people to train. So we really try and tailor everything that we do to help those people.
Outside of the gym and training and running business or whatever, what do you like to do?
It's a hard one. I do spend a lot of my time running a business and training myself, but if I had to pick a few things, I definitely love watching my sports, like footy, basketball, pretty much at any level. I'll spend a lot of time doing that. I probably should say hanging out with my girlfriend as well, just so I don't get in trouble. That's pretty much the extent of it. I'll play a bit of PlayStation here and there to wind down, but mostly just I love my business, so I spend a lot of time.
Right, so a bit of a fun one. If you could train anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
I've actually been asked this before, and I've always gone with Mark Wahlberg. Honestly, he's a machine. But I also think just being in the F45 space for Asia, I'd love to see how he trains. But he sounds like he would be pretty hard to keep up with.
That'd be pretty cool. So what's your favourite piece of equipment and your favourite exercise?
Yeah, well, pretty standard, but I think my favourite piece of equipment is just the barbell. I think like just the versatility of it, the ability to actually load up exercises. I think you can't really go past it, to be honest.
Yep.
Because I love a few other things. In terms of my favourite exercise, it's actually funny. It used to be one that I absolutely hated, but it's just like a back squat. It's a barbell squat. Used to hate it. Didn't have the mobility for it. But just worked at it until I was able to, do it properly, and now I feel really confident with it. I think like overcoming that has sort of made it my favourite movement.
Yeah, that makes sense. Something that you sort of would fear or would always turn away from, and then if you can nail it, and then you actually feel good about it. And I reckon never skip leg day. So
Yeah, it's
a bit of a fun one. If you could have 3 people over for dinner, dead or alive, who are you having?
Yeah, okay, so I think first one's a lock for sure. I'm going Michael Jordan. I just feel like the mentality, the interesting story. I feel like there's a bit of like mystique about him that I'd love to brain at. If anyone who knows business, Hutchinson, he's my guy, so I'd love to learn some stuff off him. Third one's hard. I think a massive Collingwood supporter, so I'm thinking Nick Dacos would probably be my third option. That's a good choice.
Right, our final one. What's the best piece of advice you can give to someone who's just starting out, or more so someone who feels stuck in their current routine?
Yeah, so I think, like the mottos we've talked about, I think just aiming for that consistency over perfection. If you try and overdo it, you're always going to underachieve. And, if you can't stack those wins, you're not going to be able to then build that consistency week on, week out. But I think also the second part to that is you've got to find something that you enjoy. And it may not be something that you enjoy every single day, but you can't hate it. You can't go into it hating every time. And I think that's why a lot of people opt to go to group-based gyms and things like that, because it does have like either a sense of community or you build relationships with other people. And I think just having that enjoyment behind exercise and making some fun out of it can go a long way.
Yeah, cool. Yep, no, that's good. That's awesome. Well, thanks a lot for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks,
and we'll see you around. Cheers.